Hello and welcome back to Grinding My Gears. So since you've been away, I have been doing what I always do when you're away and I'm not, which is laying down belts and smelters. So this is what we look at like at the moment. Let's turn off the power, that's better. Right, so we have our red build. Then there's the military and green, orange. I have put in extra smelters for orange, so I think we have either enough or close to enough iron coming in now to keep these machines fed. We are woefully under for gears and for green circuits, not so much in the production, but in the oh, that's facing the wrong way. Can I? No, I can't reverse it from that view. Okay. So not so much from production capacity, but from belt capacity. This whole build here up to orange was slightly undersupplied for both green circuits and gears. So I've thrown down another full gear build, which is four red belts of iron going in that to produce one belt of gears, and a full green build. This is a single belt of green coming out. Okay. What I'd like to do next is the next science on the list, and that one is I think it's light blue or dark blue. I think it's one of those, and it requires batteries. So what we need is a nice self-contained battery build, and it turns out we need this many battery machines to supply one of these. It's one of these things where it comes in twos again, so I should be doing two of these and double that minus one. But we're going for half ratioed builds at the moment. This needs an orange build. In the previous episode, doubled up the orange capacity, so this produces enough fluid for its bottles, and then some fluid over again. That should all be fine. Okay. So, as well as that, I hooked up this 4 million copper patch, although I haven't turned it on yet because we're still fiddling around with where the belts are all going to be routed, and it's easier to move around belts when they're not covered in ore. I've learnt the hard way on this map that the only belt balancers which work are the power of 2 balancers. By work, I mean if you have more than N belts worth of material coming in, you can take N fully compressed belts out. So I have various patches where we have 5 or 6 perhaps lines coming in, and I want to take, for example, 4 out because that's what roughly 24 into the number of mining drills goes, roughly. And the only way I can get this to work is to put down a power of 2 balancer and then plumb in as many as I need and take out as many as I need. I haven't found a way to do it using the lower number of input balancers. So for example, the 8-to-4 balancer I've got in this balancer book doesn't maintain full output throughput, even if you have more than 4 belts worth of material coming in. Just because of the way the internals work. You can obviously get an 8-to-4 very easily by just taking 4 belts out of an 8. That seems like a lot of a waste of routing and gubbins, but anyway, that's what I found. So I hooked up that one. I hooked up this 2 million here. There you are, 2 lines come out of that. 2 lines out of a 2 million patch. 2 million ore patch here, slightly higher surface area so we could get more miners down, so I could take 3 out. And again, I took 4 in, take 3 out, goes through a 4-to-4 balancer. I tried a 4-to-3 balancer and I could not get a fully compressed output belt. Okay, the next thing I need to do is take this 12 million, which we can't see on map view. That 12 million will supply hopefully 5 or 6, possibly even 7 belts. This is a 12 million here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 belts from that. Okay, so we might get 8 iron belts out from that, and that will keep us able to extend our smelting further this way. but we also need to mine out this 157k patch, or we will just build over it. I'm not sure which, because we're actually out of room for smelters. So the battery build that I've got, let's walk down this a bit so I can build some more. Yeah. So this battery build here requires 3.2 items per second of plates. That is just under a quarter of a transport belt. Okay, the red circuit build I've got, it's red circuits that are needed for the science after that. The red science build I've made takes 1.1 belts of iron in and 3.6 belts of copper. So if I have 2 iron smelting stacks and 4 copper smelting stacks, that's enough to run the battery build and the red circuit build and have a little bit left over. So that's what I'm doing. Initially, I'm just going to run it off 1 iron plate smelting stack because I haven't got room for the second one yet, because this has not been mined out. But this will get mined out really quite quickly, I think. So we'll start off by doing the researches which just do the batteries. That'll chew through this patch, I would have thought. Yeah, see how it goes. So, what else? Oh! Okay. So, to bring this in, just fill that in. When I come back the other way, we will tidy all this up. Take that out. Right, so I had to bring this belt all the way through here. It snakes up past the refinery, up past this patch of coal, in over the top of our coal lines, and then it snakes through our ore bus. There's a car. Down here, does a zigzag, sneaks in underneath these iron ore lines, and then comes down into the smelters here. Now, I am very, very aware that what I've made is a hideous mess of belt spaghetti. And unlike vanilla research, so if we go down here, where's the red potions? Yeah, red potions. So they are gears and copper plate. And this is inserters, not belts. So the green potions in this playthrough don't consume yellow belts. And I am manufacturing just a load of yellow belt for the base. So at some point I'll have all these belts, and yeah, I'll need to do something with them. All right, so these are the options. I've got the dark blue potions, which need red circuits, consume green. Then I've got the light blue, which consume batteries, consume orange liquid. They both require petrochemicals, petroleum. This one unlocks stack inserters. And that's really the next thing on my critical path, because a lot of my builds are running under capacity because of the inserter bonuses being set to 1 at the moment. So this is the one I need. So that's the one we're going to build as soon as. Right, what am I out of? I'm out of belt. Yeah, it's yellow belts that I'm out of. Let's run over and get some. Do I have undergrounds? Yep, I have undergrounds. I've got a bit of red, which I'm using when I do the fast smelters. Oh, and if we look at research, everything here requires things I don't have, right? So even solar panels and accumulators and efficiency modules and battery equipment, all this stuff requires the light blue. That's the one I need, the stack inserters. Okay. So that's a little bit frustrating. I'm going to set this to research. It will just stall, but it reminds us that we're doing the light blue. So let's head down, grab some more belt. I am just chewing through belt like nobody's business. I hate to think how much of my world so far has just been turned into belt. Okay, Now we should have some boxes up here that we can dump excess wood into. There we go. Empty bottles. I like the improvement where it doesn't spill things onto belts. Right, thank you very much, hairdryers. My 6-year-old daughter calls them balloons. Okay, so we actually genuinely have an issue where we don't have a line of iron coming into the battery build. And the only way for me to fix this is to go and hook up that 12 million ore patch. Now, this is getting close to the point where I should be bringing in ore with rails. But I really want to hold off doing that until I've got fluid wagons. But what I probably should be doing is at the top of each of these stacks, I should have a train coming in which fills up those smelters. But I just haven't done it yet. I don't know the best way to do it, to be honest, but we'll figure it out. Right, let's head back up here. Okay. There we are. So those smelting stacks are fully built. This doesn't have copper ore coming in. Right, this is going to be iron ore, which means this will be copper. Now that can actually be moved up one. We really are saving every single belt because they are so expensive to build in this world. Okay, so that's the copper there. Then we need a copper in here. And again, we're going to save one tile. For those of you who don't know, I'm using the Picket Extended mod. That gives you various extra feedback on things you're placing down. So for example, belts that jump off without having a landing partner. Okay, that goes down there. And then we need a belt coming in here. That's too high up. Let's take it down one. There we are. Okay, so we need to bring... Oh, that's... Is that going to anywhere? No, I don't think it is. Okay, so I think this is what I want. That. Yeah, and then I want to route this over. I still don't have belt immunity equipment because I need to unlock more research to be able to do that. It's a really early one in vanilla and it's buried away. Let's have a look, where is it? So the belt immunity equipment, it's got a terrible icon. If I have done it and I haven't built one, I'm going to be really upset. Is it in my... There it is. It is done. Well, that's annoying. Right, what do I need to manufacture one of these then? Do I have one? No. What do I need to manufacture belt immunity? Just gears, steel, circuits, blah. Okay. I've got all of that. Oh, I've got no slot to put it in. Okay. And the reason I've got no slot to put it in is because I need red circuits to get the bigger suit. And we don't have our red circuit build up yet. Okay, let's turn this car around. Oh dear. Driving cars on belts. It's even worse than driving cars in multiplayer games. So let's follow this around. These belts at least go where I want to go. Am I actually out of fuel? Okay, anything I can put in here that's useful? Nope. Right, let's run off and get some coal. Well, that's just embarrassing, running out of fuel. Okay. Whoop. Turn on my bots. So it turns out Picker Extended also has hotkeys for turning equipment on and off, but I don't find them as convenient as the hotkeys from the equipment turning on and off mod. I should probably only have the one mod, to be honest, because it does the one job, and I should probably just remap the keys or get used to them. But there you are. So I'm slowly moving towards wiring everything with big poles. The placement of poles at the moment is quite ad hoc. Okay, so that should get this turned on. Yes, that's now turned on. Oh, yeah, there's no sound at the moment. That's because I was playing an event at the weekend and we were Discording, so I had my game volume turned off so that it wasn't echoing back down the mic, and I haven't got around to turning it back on. Slightly eerie going through a quiet world. Anyway, this stuff is coming in now. Now, if I scoot up here, so the next thing I need is a new mine at that 12 million patch. Do I have belts? I've got some belts. That won't be enough. I've probably got way too many mining drills, actually. Right, let's put all these back. 51, 152, 250, 3. Okay, that'll be more than enough mining drills. What I'm low on is these. We're probably going to have to go backwards and forwards a few times. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is drive over to the 12 million patch. I will probably have a look at it, decide that it's too much effort to hook it all up on camera and then hook it up off camera, but we'll start off with that. And then next time we will do the battery build. And I'm in two minds about whether the battery build is going to have a dedicated refinery, because we just buy the oil, so it's not a big ask. I think I might do a refinery that turns everything into petroleum, because I need petroleum for... Oh, that's finished. We can have that. We need petroleum for the plastic as well, and we really don't need anything except petroleum. The problem is, at the moment, we don't have advanced oil processing, which is kind of an important one. So maybe I'll hold off and just for now push some sulfuric acid and some petroleum down a fluid bus from our refinery way over the other side. I don't know, we'll figure that out next time. Right, what's the best way for me to drive from here? It's kind of through a forest. Skirt around it. I'll tidy up this site later. Okay. Right, turn off my roboports. Otherwise, every time I hit anything, I will lose one. Okay, head up. Oh, hang on, I know what I can do. Yeah, I can follow this belt because obviously the belt doesn't have trees on it. Oh, grief. I can't afford a tank. Well, I haven't unlocked the research for a tank yet. All right, let's drive up the belts. Awesome. We should probably also extend out these big poles. Okay, so this is my little copper mine. It's hardly been running. Like, we've literally just hooked it up, and in the process of it buffering up its own belts, it has managed to in the process of buffering up its own belts, it has managed to empty some of the mining drills. So I'm just dragging power up. I just want to get power up to this area. It may not be the correct route. All this stuff is going to be rerouted at some point when I move to trains and outposts, if I ever do. Okay, so let's have a look. This is a pretty big patch, actually. This is where I wish I had night vision. Okay, so let's grab our book of prints. I had to do that without actually singing Purple Rain. Okay, so this is our 24 miners, which is enough for 24 smelters. Okay, so it doesn't actually fit on here many times that way, but it probably fits a few times this way. So let's give it a go. Okay, and we're going to stick everything through balancers, so I sort of don't care. Okay. And because of how the poles work on this design, you can shift things up and down. Okay, then we have landfill issues. How much landfill do I have? Lots. Okay, well, we will use the power of landfill to make our lives easier. Cool. Okay, and then I think we need to revert to the shorter design here. And I'm going to take this one up over the top, because this is going to pick up all the little bits of crap. Apparently not quite all the little bits of crap. Right, we'll figure this out. So the idea here is each of those blueprints of 24 miners should be enough to fill a yellow belt. Now, of course, in real life, some of the mining drills will run dry, but it does mean we're never oversaturating a yellow belt. So if we take in those and then shove them through a splitter, things should be reasonably well behaved. So then you take out whatever the total number of mining drills is, divided by 24, that many belts, and that should mean that you can take out full belts for quite a while until the site gets depleted. Okay. I don't know if I actually showed you this mining blueprint. Let's bring it up. Okay, so this is a 4x4 mining drill blueprint. The idea is that you can place this side by side, so it's a tight pack blueprint. It's done with small poles, and you get them in by making a gap now and again. But because they are packed side to side, you are losing 6 tiles in total for the small poles, for the gaps, for the smaller poles. If you think of the normal one where you run the mining drills with power poles down the side, you're losing 9 spaces because it is 3 behind each mining drill, but then you share them across neighbouring lines. So this is actually much tighter packed than the standard way of doing early game mining drills with the things down the side, even if you were using steel poles. And there's actually no benefit with this design of using steel poles. There might be a way to do it with steel poles, which means even fewer, so you might be able to get away with fewer gaps. I haven't investigated that because frankly I don't expect to be using steel poles in this playthrough. Okay, so let's go over here, down here. Then we need a mining drill there. Yep, we do. And then let's blueprint this down. Okay, so this is very one-sided. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on one side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I really want some of these to be going in the other side. And let's find a good way to do this. Okay, so this belt comes up. Okay, it comes up there. That's it. So this is a reasonably balanced belt. 3 plus 4. Okay, we could do it this way. Okay, now if we just put a split there, yeah, that's fine. There's no point doing a wiggle split at this point because we've got a reasonably balanced number of mining drills on both sides and the belt is not saturated. If the belt was saturated, a wiggle split would be worth the effort, I think. Okay. Is that the line? No, but life is too short. I don't care. Okay, bring that down to there. Now we need to try and get this all placed. One of the benefits of using a 3-3 mining drill with the gaps down the back is that you can run up and down the gaps. Because I'm using the starter pack where you do everything with drones, that's not really a problem for me. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, brilliant. I have 8. Ah, that's ideal. Go to my balances book. Now, I've been told that this is not a full throughput balancer. I'm willing to believe that. I have not been able to find a belt book that claims to be full throughput balancers or can demonstrate to me that they are, and I haven't got around to doing the maths to design my own. Thought about it and then never done it. So I will probably at some point write a script which designs balancers, but I haven't got around to it yet. And then hopefully if I design a script to build balancers, I'll end up with balancers that actually work for less than powers of 2. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Anyway, I don't know if my maths programming foo is sufficiently strong for that, but it's worth a try, I think. Okay. I need some of these trees gone because I can't see what's going on. I feel a bit bad for all the ecocide in this game. I'd kind of like a mod where you can put things back, a Garden of Eden mod or something. Okay. Take that off. Put that on, and then we definitely need radars out here. There we go. This is on a peninsula, so it shouldn't be attacked by the natives, but you know, life is short. You never are quite sure, are you? Okay, so fingers crossed. We have essentially eight compressed lines. All right, so if I pick up a belt and then press plus a few times, one of the things in Picker Extender is the belt brush. There are glitches in it, so I don't totally understand when it decides to put the belts down and when it decides to ghost them. But it certainly works very well with this mix of belts and bots. Okay, so do we have fully compressed lines coming in? So it looks like we don't quite. It looks like we can take, say, 7 out. If I take that off. Nope. All right, let's count these. Okay, so we have 181. Oh, that's not as many as I expected. Right, we have a power pole missing. That's because I was hand designing that bit. Okay. You can't max rate. I'm trying to get the calculator up for max rate calculator, and I don't know how to do it without actually max rating something. Okay, so let's bring up 181 divided by 24. Well, 181 divided by 24 equals 7.5. Okay, so we should be able to take 7 belts out of this, 7 fully compressed belts. So that's what we will do. There's no point trying to take 8 out when we can only support 7, particularly since as time goes on, the site will deplete and we won't be able to keep as many belts saturated. I'm in the habit now of marking things for deconstruction even if I'm going to pick them up, because although it's kind of make work for the bots, it does mean you don't miss things. There's always the possibility you will miss picking something up. Right, did I put my car somewhere? Turn that off. I'm sure I drove over here. Yep, I can't see my car in my... Right, where's the car? Oh, it's in the middle of the splitter. Cool. Yeah, so there's a... What is it? There's a jump out. Right, is it J? No. Control J, Shift J, Alt J, Control Shift J. So Control Shift and J marks your car on the map as a flashing car icon, which is freaking awesome because I habitually lose my car. Okay. Whoop. No, try again. We will get there in the end. Right, so I just need to put down these belts now to bring this ore home. Right, so I'm pretty much over the top of the copper ore belt now. I'd like to bring it in parallel to that. Right, let's do another picker extender type thing. So if I've got the belt brush in my hand, if I press Control Shift R, it toggles through corners, and then if you do it again, eventually it goes back to the straight brush. Now I think I off by one to that. Let's grab. All right, let's do that again. Okay, so Control Shift R gives me a corner. That's the corner I actually wanted, which I can then Shift R to rotate. And then the third time you press it, it goes back to the belt brush. Okay, and I am out of yellow belts. So I think this is as good a time as any to end this episode. I'll be back next time. I will have dragged these belts, kicking and screaming, back to the main base. We will then have sufficient iron ore lines to be able to continue building out our smelters, and we can start work on batteries, and therefore on to the next science build. I'm in two minds about whether to put batteries on the bus or if all these batteries should just be consumed. I think they're just going to be consumed because I don't think they're needed for any other science, but we will see. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the tedium of doing more science in an expensive world. It's just a constant fight to get yet more smelting stacks, yet more ore. I'm sure I could have done the whole thing off like 4 lines of iron and 8 lines of copper and just hoped that, you know, with the right lane balances, everything worked out fine. But I'm trying to scale this up so that when we hit SpaceX, we are ready to go. Yeah, so having said that, I will be back later with this line put in. Until then, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.